show you. Now, if you were doing this in a class with your students, you would obviously be walking around and helping them, and you would be making sure that everybody got into the document. And when everyone's responses were in, you would click on responses. And what's the beauty of a Google form? Okay, if it's a right or wrong answer, you see right away which of your students absolutely got the right or wrong answer. But even more beautifully, when your students are going for those higher level thinking questions, you see some really beautiful responses. And everybody can see them, and it becomes a sounding board for that discussion and for that creativity. And oftentimes, actually, sometimes I have cried when I see these forms when students have gone on and on talking about Rudy's soul and his family, and really beautiful responses that get everybody thinking about the experience of this family. Okay, I want you to keep this responses key, because this is such a big thing for all of us who are teaching, especially text or Hebrew language. And I want to show you another Google form, which I'm not going to have you guys come on to, but I'm just going to navigate around, and everybody can pay attention to the screen and follow along in this form. We all know the story of the Meraglim, right? The 12 spies that Moshe sends out to spy out Eretz Yisrael, except for the 2 of them, Yehoshua and Caleb, who come back and do not lie about the land. The spies come back and they don't give a good report. So here, this was a class that I taught with 6th grade girls at Manhattan Day School. Here, you can use imagery on a Google form and ask students right away, shoot for that higher level. Students have to pick a pasuk or a verse which matches this image, the idea of a liar. And obviously, there's not one correct answer here. So right away, you're stimulating your students' thinking. But now look at this for all of you who teach Hebrew language or teach text. It is so easy to put on a Google form a verse, a pasuk that your students have to read out loud. And you can send them. I'm just going to show you how you send them. You embed the link, and they are sent right away to being able to read the verses. You can put it right for them so that they can see it. Then you can have them record what they read. You can send them very easily to a site where they just have to press the button and they can record themselves reading, and they can upload their recording. And then you can have your students self-evaluate. Did they read the verse with understanding? Did they read the verse with fluency and correct pronunciation? And remember our responses button. You will be able to go back and have a clear record from the beginning of the year to a month into the year to halfway through the year to end of the year, how your students are reading. Are they reading with fluency? Are they reading with comprehension? You will be able to listen to their clips and to judge their progress. And they're also able to self-evaluate. And you can even put on your Google form for students. Esther, can I ask you to mute yourself, please? Where students have to work together in a chavruta or in pairs and read to each other. And right here on your computer, you keep track of every single one of your students, their reading and their progress. And on the same Google form, you can ask your students again, shoot for those higher level thinking questions, show a picture. What are the Meraglim thinking in this image? And ask your students, we see that the Meraglim, except for Joshua and Caleb, gave false reports about the land and her people. Create a hashtag here to express what you think motivated the Meraglim to tell lies about Eretz Yisrael. So in one little form, you can get your students interacting visually, interacting auditorily, speaking, recording, monitoring their Hebrew reading and comprehension progress, and their knowledge, comprehension, synthesis, evaluation, and creativity. And all of that can happen on a Google form.